Hello. This video is going to actually be a response to the Gentleman Gamer's response to 9 Alignment's video about tales about our last role-playing experience. So, we'll just get underway. I think I'm going to attach it actually to the Gentleman Gamers because I actually don't know what video 9 Alignments was. So, anyway. So, my actual last experience was Sunday, and we're playing in this game been running for a year and a half approximately, and it's Pathfinder 3.5 run in Ebberon. We're actually, I think, running in a pre-made campaign that our DM's homebrewing stuff in and out of just to make it his own. And I think it's actually the Eyes of the Lich. I think that's what it is, but I do not believe what the entire session had absolutely anything to do with what was written in the adventure. Because, so we had just finished. I'm actually playing in that game a dwarven cleric of Doldorn that is now also a holy vindicator. So I'm like a battle cleric. So it's actually pretty fun. I enjoy it. But so we had just recently got back from the Tomb of GMS, who was this person that we're seeking. And actually, if you are planning on playing in a campaign around GMS or aberrant dragon marks, do not watch this video anymore because I won't know I'll probably spoil something. Let's just be honest, because if you're about to play in it, or you are playing in it, there are certain things that will have to be said just for back reference to other things to kind of show you where we've led up to. But anyway, so we got back from that because we're trying to cure our aberrant dragon marks, and so we get back to Regalport, and I go to the temple because we're about to go to Argonessen and try and figure out what the fuck is wrong with us. So I go to the temple to try and figure out maybe someone who knows something about Argonessen, because my character, he's really not heavy in history or lore or anything like that, because, well, he's a cleric and my skill ranks didn't go there. They went into knowledge, religion, and heal, and navigating, because we spent a lot of our time on a boat actually, so we needed someone who could plot a course. But we got there, and shortly after I got to the temple, I actually felt I felt a pain, because in a tomb in I can't remember exactly where it was. It's in the jungles on the southeast. There's a jungle, and we went into some dragon lich old ancient temple and all that stuff. And because our DM, he has this fortune point system, which is very much like the Destiny points from Saga Edition, and we get them for writing a journal, so they kind of add a little bit of flavor to the game, a little bit of chance, things like that. Some pretty cool stuff. And I had actually used it way back I got throat punched by a mummy. So I was no longer able to cast my spell, and I had cast Deific Vengeance already, like twice on this guy. So I knew he was getting really low. And, you know, 3 of my party members were paralyzed. One of them had he was a psionic, had pretty much burned all his ability to fight anymore. And our rogue was about to have to start burning some of our magical items to, like, we have a necklace of fireballs. And he was going to start burning that, but I wanted to see if I could kill him really fast. So I used my fortune points to gain the ability to speak really fast, and used another fortune point to call down a use of Deific Vengeance from my god. And I hit the mummy with it. He failed his save, and he burst into flames and disintegrated. And he dropped this little orb, which was essentially my DM's way of rewarding my character's faith, what have you. And it gave me something small. And then, you know, that was 7-8 months ago, something like that. And so it finally came into play, and that it turned green and knocked me out as I got close to the altar. So I wake up the next day and meet up with our rogue captain and it's the rest of the party. And the rogue captain has an idea of taking the Cloud Reaver's ship and all of their fleet and then using them as a intercontinental taxi system. Because no one else does that, and we're going to do it. But to do that, we have to go kill the captain of the Cloud Reavers. So, we agree to, and as they go out to scout, I go back to the altar, because we got to find out why I fell unconscious. And I get there, and I get close to the altar, succeed a fort save, as the little pearl that I had, that was giving one additional channel per day, embedded itself in my skin and like passed through into my body and became lodged there, and at that point began to give me the ability to detect emotion. And I actually then used that to talk to a grieving widow whose husband had been killed by Sawagan. And I actually turned her from sorrowful and vengeful and angry, and I actually helped her get through that. So that was a really cool RP experience for my character, actually, because he spends so much time away from a church, and he spends so much time doing things that are probably frowned upon by most holy orders. But so I did that, and then we actually they scouted out the warehouse that the Cloud Reavers were based at. And we prepped for the assault. We scouted it out. We did all this stuff. And then, because we had our rogue is also a shadow dancer, so his shadow could pass through the wall and kind of feed us information. And we picked a spot that we felt was the best possible entrance. And we used, I can't remember what spell, but we teleported in. And right off the bat, like the first thing I did was I saw what we believe to be the captain, and what's it called? I think it's called Earth Reaver is a spell from the spell compendium from 3.5, and this 20-foot radius, just eruption of earth, just fire and rock and everything, blast the crap out of everything, and it's actually really cool because right then I accidentally triggered a trap when I destroyed that entire area. I triggered a tripwire that pulled the roof down behind us. And me, the Gunslinger Warforged, and the Human Witch were all caved in. I managed to dodge. The other two became pinned. But luckily I'd also cast Divine Power before we teleported in, and someone to cast Enlarged Person on me. So we get in there, and I push the rocks off off our sorceress, witch, so that she can start casting her spells, and I position myself, and the fight just goes. Our party, and it is a running joke, our party stumbles into everything. If it can go wrong, chances are it does go wrong, and we still survive. We're still actually all original party members so far. But yeah, and it was. We've done so many things, and triggering a trap as we think we're porting into the best possible place is annoying, but not unsurprising. Anyway, so we managed to fight our way out and kill all of them. I actually managed to, because Divine Power gives me an extra attack on a full round action. We beat the crap out of everything. I grabbed an orc and just pummeled his head in with my warhammer, and we had our Shadow Dancer eviscerated everything. I mean, the damage he does is insane. It's not even funny how ridiculous his damage is. So, we eviscerated them, killed all the orcs. They actually, among them, had a priest of the... I want to say of the Devourer of the Dark Six. And he was also a member of the Emerald Claw. So... it was great, because after thinking on it for a little bit, I decided that my character is a holy vindicator who is supposed to, kill the enemies of the church. And seeing as how he was so embedded in his faith that he wasn't going to be able to be moved from it, and then he's also a member of the Emerald Claw, I decided that I would kill him. just flat out because I thought it was my duty to my church. I actually got the rogue to help me, and what we did was, because he's also Emerald Claw, we tied him up upside down and slit his throat so that he would bleed out, because the blood of Vol and all that stuff, and blood is sacred for them. So that was well done, I think. We also got a party member from that, because the elf mercenary with them decided to switch sides after we destroyed their majority of their forces and then killed the rest. I know. Like I said, my character is in a party of people who tend to do less than good acts, we should say. I'm actually chaotic good, I think. I think I'm chaotic good. And yeah, I'm pretty sure the Shadow Dancer is evil. But I purposely do not detect alignment on him for a reason. I do not want to know, because I do not want to view him as an enemy of the church at all. And so from there, we actually were rejoined by a party member right after that, because one of our party members, the psionicist, actually he moved away to New York after last summer, I want to say, sometime. So he's been out for like a year. So he actually came back, and he's going to be sitting in with us for a few sessions. And we went and we negotiated. We got 2 new party members, so we have 2 new players. Well, one old returning player for a temporary time, and actually 1 new player, permanent player. And so we met their characters. I don't want to spoil too much of the actual campaign, because there is some really cool stuff, and I'll avoid spoiling. But yeah, and after that, we began prepping for our journey to Argoness, and after capturing the entire, well, at least the Cloud Reaver's flagship, and it shouldn't be too hard to acquire the others. But yeah, that was my last experience. It's games like that that remind me why I really do enjoy 3.5. Because I run 4 for the most part. And, you know, it's fun, but it's got its flaws. I mean, the game has a lot of flaws, but it really comes down to the amount of flaws, but the combat's really fun, the options are really fun, and just like that. Or go with 3.5 Pathfinder, where it takes you until high level play to actually have interesting combat, and you know, it has its flaws too in that aspect. So I mean, it's really a balancing act. So, and seeing as how I've got, but I digress from the point. But it was an awesome game, and actually, it's because of that campaign that I'm actually really interested in Ebberon and all that stuff. But yeah, so until next time, have a good one.